various dishes, and also we'll be given about 4 hours, to 3 to 4 to even 5 hours, depending on what we are going to be tested on.
The students are being trained by industry experts, and they have their work cut out for them.
Well, what I've seen the students that we served the meal today is the future of Singapore to do with hospitality or entrepreneurship. It's the fact that they're here, they're learning a trade, and hopefully what they learn they can take with them out when they become either entrepreneurs or managers of hotels, or hopefully maybe even chefs, and use what we've taught them to pass on to the knowledge.
By the end of 6 months of training at the campus restaurant, they'll spend another 6 months at F&B establishments.
It's one of Singapore's biggest junior soccer schools, but more than that, JSSL Arsenal soccer schools have won many titles in Asia and even made a mark in Europe. Sports reporter Patwan Singh visited the biggest of the academy's 3 centres located at Victoria Junior College.
The JSSL Arsenal Soccer School's trophy hall could put a few S-League clubs to shame. The school has over 1,200 students playing. You have kids as young as 5 to 6 years old acquiring new skills, through to teens who have been well schooled in Arsenal's training methods. Both local and expatriate kids turn up for training with good parental support. The school scores big on being an inclusive football community.
We're one of the most expensive in Singapore, and we charge $38 a session. But at the end of the day, you know, our coaching, our facilities is justifying the fee, and we also do we offer scholarships for children, underprivileged children, and also local schools.
Gender not an obstacle too, with 160 girls showing the boys a thing or two.
Some girls can be tough, so we decided to join soccer, and some girls are very good, even better than some of the boys.
A league with promotion and relegation system and various competitions give the kids a chance to show their real potential.
We went to a lot of tournaments and we've won a lot of trophies, but our biggest achievement is going to Gothia Cup, which is all the way in Sweden. And we came to the quarterfinals this year, so that's our biggest achievement so far.
And the Academy will now be organising Asia's biggest youth soccer tournament called the JSSL Sevens. It will be held in May at the Padang. 80 teams from 8 countries, including Singapore, will be competing in the 2-day tournament.
And that's Singapore Tonight this Sunday evening. Thanks for your company. Coming up after the break, that's IT Uploaded. Timothy Goh explores the medical breakthrough that could one day slow down the progress of Alzheimer's disease. Also ahead, will this be the Blackberry's renaissance?
People often wonder how much money they have. But with more and more risks in job markets and the world economy, isn't it time to ask, how do I grow my money? No matter how big or small your savings, make 2013 a year to start making strategic investments and unlock future opportunities. Learn from top financial experts as they share knowledge to help you understand current market trends and create a smart financial roadmap. Where Next for Key Global Markets, a seminar on understanding the current market trends and unlocking future opportunities. Happening on 2nd March at the Singapore Marriott Hotel. Book your tickets from Systig now to enjoy special rates. For more details, log on to channelnewsasia.com/seminar. Where Next for Key Global Markets. Brought to you by IG, the world's #1 CFD provider. Organised by Channel News Asia.
Many ways to define them. Get the right one. Understand what they do and who they are. Exclusively at channelnewsasia.com/socialinc.
That's IT Uploaded.
I'm Timothy Go on the Lunar New Year edition of That's IT. So there's a brand new BlackBerry, Research in Motion, or RIM is no more. And honestly, I think they should have ditched that name a long time ago. Anyway, BlackBerry is taking a big leap with good responses so far and sellouts from Canada to the UK, driving stock markets up and expectations even higher. So is this BlackBerry's renaissance? I heard the launch event in New York was a blast, but I couldn't make it there. Channel News Asia's Stephen Fee was there on my behalf.
A big stage show replete with a faultless product demonstration, lots of enthusiastic clapping, and even an appearance by singer-songwriter and now spokeswoman Alicia Keys. BlackBerry, once known as RIM, opted for a big rollout for its biggest gamble yet, the launching of BlackBerry 10, 2 new smartphones and a new operating system meant to reclaim its piece of the market.
If you look at what the device does for you, if you look at the user experience, the peak, the flow, and the hub, I think it's obvious that we have taken the user experience to the next innovative level.
It wasn't long ago when the BlackBerry was ubiquitous. As top dog, the handsets comprised 20% of the market. Now at under 5%, BlackBerry is looking for a comeback.
So this is it, the new BlackBerry Z10. It's one of 2 handsets unveiled here today. It has lots of new features meant to appeal to business consumers and personal consumers of all stripes. But the real question here is it enough? In the U.S. alone, since 2009, 11 million Americans have given up on their BlackBerries and switched over to other smartphones.
There are a lot of people that were burned, former BlackBerry users who were just fed up with the old operating system and left it for the iPhone and for Android.
CNET executive editor Roger Cheng says the phone will certainly appeal to power users, but isn't sure how the BlackBerry 10 ecosystem will play among the general public.
It's still unclear whether or not this is good enough. It is definitely a good operating system, but it's not leaps and bounds better, so RIM still has some challenges when it comes to attracting new people.
Analyst William Stefega says the company's new approach could create a market alongside competitors like Samsung and Apple, which together now hold nearly half of the global smartphone market.
I think it does have the necessary things. It's attractive in terms of industrial design. The screen is very attractive. There are lots of new and different features. It's not just sort of piling on the old applications and capability.
The company still has 79 million loyal users. Appealing to their base, one of the new models has a physical keyboard, and much of its recent growth has come in places like Nigeria and Indonesia. CEO Torsten Hein says BlackBerry 10 will solidify the company's position in developing markets.
They demand us to provide high-end devices because they create what we call a halo effect on other devices. So even in those markets, you have to play in all segments, the high-end segment and the mid-tier.
Under Heinz's direction, the company has cut 5,000 jobs and streamlined operations. Debt-free, it's becoming an attractive target for potential buyers like China's Lenovo.
I think there's always buyout potential for RIM, but I think a lot of companies now are sort of sitting here waiting to see how well BlackBerry 10 does, because if it doesn't do well, then all of a sudden RIM's a lot cheaper to buy.
And CEO Hein seems to be leaving the door open to a potential buyout.
We have created a huge value with the BlackBerry 10 mobile computing platform in the company. Where this goes, we will need to see.
Stephen Fee for That's IT in New York.
The BlackBerry 10 will not be available in Japan. Apparently, BlackBerry decided that its 0.3% market share in Japan will make it too expensive to create a Japanese version of the BB10. But get ready, because the BlackBerry 10 will soon be available for us right here in Southeast Asia. And I'll give you a review as soon as I get my hands on one. Speaking of availability, we first told you about the Office 365 when it was launched in San Francisco last July. Now, Microsoft wants me to tell you the Office 365 is available for upgrades. But should you? Here's a look at what the Office 365 has to offer. The new Office 365 is optimized for Windows 8 and all the touch functions that come with it, like swiping from page to page, tapping a function to launch, or pinching to zoom in and out. Office 365 is also all about taking advantage of the cloud. It means you can save your documents, pictures, videos, and files up to Microsoft SkyDrive, so your stuff is always available for you to use wherever you are, whatever device you might want to consume it on. And because many of us now work outside the office after normal working hours, Office 365 will allow you to roam your personalized office settings in all your devices. All you have to really do is sign on and set up those settings. And to spice things up, Skype is also built in. Office 365 will also let you access everything you have from every device you want it on. And because of that, all 3 editions of the Office 365 will have licenses for up to 5 devices. So as you can see, Microsoft is changing the way you get your new services and programs. It says new features and services will be available to the cloud first and streamed to you as soon as you're ready, eliminating the hassles of upgrading.
Let me ask you this. Would you allow mild jolts of electricity to be zapped to your brain to stave off Alzheimer's disease? A medical technological breakthrough could potentially slow down creeping memory loss if used early enough. Check this out.
Which one's this?
57-year-old Kathy Sanford has early-stage Alzheimer's, and it is gradually getting worse. She volunteered for a clinical trial at Ohio State University to implant a pacemaker in her brain that would send constant tiny shocks to a part of it affected by Alzheimer's.
I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
The research is still in its infancy. Only a few dozen people with early-stage Alzheimer's will be implanted in a handful of hospitals. No one knows if it might work, and if it does, how long the effects might last. The hope is that constant electrical stimulation of brain circuits involved in memory and thinking might keep those neural networks active for longer, essentially bypassing some of dementia's damage.
It's believed that because of the plaques that are causing the Alzheimer's, the brain networks or connections are slowed down or gummed up.
Dr. Rezai hopes by waking up areas of the brain slowed down by Alzheimer's and increasing brain activity in general, patients might experience improved memory, attention, and cognition, slowing the progress of the disease. Rezai says the trial marks a new front in the battle against Alzheimer's because drugs have so far proved disappointing. It is too soon to know if the brain pacemaker is working for Kathy, but she says she's in it for the long run.
I'm just trying to make the world a better place.
And how does it feel to have a brain pacemaker? Well, Kathy says she only occasionally feels a little tingling in the brain from the electrodes.
That's all I have for you on the Lunar New Year edition of the show. Have a wonderful holiday season. Kong Si Fa Chai. I'm Timothy Go. That's it.
most prestigious award of the night.
Channel News Asia Luminary Awards 2013. Brought to you by Official Hotel Partner, the Fullerton Hotel. Official Car Partner, Chrysler. Research and Knowledge Partners.
When it comes to luxury brand names in China, one woman knows just what the customers will love. She first introduced the Chinese to Gucci and Prada, and the go-getter still commands the luxury sector today.
I was like wind and fire in those days.
This week, I tried to keep in step with the doyen of luxury fashion in China, Balbina Wong.
On Powerless Asia, Monday at 9 p.m.
This program is brought to you by Guocoland Group.
For 2013, I think it's going to be another tough year ahead. And overall, the business people here are kind of wait and see attitude, and they got to be more conservative this year. Everybody says it's a difficult time, but for me, it's the best time for new venture. When everybody stops, you can move, you can go where everybody is turn right, you can go to the left, and it's the best way to do the opposite. So for new venture, why not? Starbucks and McDonald's are coming to Vietnam, they must have their calculations.